Welcome to Tuesday's Tips from So Very Easy. My name is Laura, and today on Tuesday's Tips, I'm going to answer a question Jennifer asked. She asked, how did you put the buttons through the center of the pillow? Well, let's start with some good strong thread. I like to use a good strong thread. Now you can double up and triple up on regular sewing thread, but it still will have a tendency to want to break as you are sewing. Even some of the heavier threads, give them a test to see if they break. If they have a good pull without breaking, they're okay. But if they're going to break, well, you're going to have to double up on them. And I want to do this all with one loop. So I like to use a thread that is not going to break. So you can check and just give a good pull to some of the threads and see if they break or not. I like to use a thread that is made for denim. This is a top stitch for denim thread, and it does not break very easy. And get the longest needle you can that you're able to put your thread into that hole. And I'm going to start with a very long piece so that I don't have to wrestle with little ends. I'm going to double up and knot the two ends together. If you're making the pillow from scratch, you're going to be able to find the center point before you stuff it. But if you're going to make a pillow that's already stuffed, you need to find the center. The easiest way is to take a thread and go from one corner to the next, and I flip it over and I bring the thread all the way to the other side. Then I repeat it for the other corner. Go right from one corner, slip it right into the next corner, flip the pillow over, and go back into that hole. You do not need to knot the thread. You just want to find the center mark. Once you find the center mark, mark it. Now you can take the threads off. First thing I do is take the needle and go through the center of the pillow in that mark and come out right in the next mark. But keep the thread tails on the first side of the pillow. So I have thread on both sides of the pillow. Now I'm just going to put the button in on the side that has the needle. Then I'm going to take the needle, put it right back in, just a couple of stitches past that original hole that you came out of. And just come out a small distance from that original thread. So now you have one button on one side and your two threads on the other. Put your second button on. Now we need to tie a knot and squish this all together at the same time. So normally you would take a knot and you would just pull the thread in once. We'll do it a second time and then do it a third time. Now slowly, keeping your threads nice and straight because they might want to get tangled on you, pull. And when you get to the button, if you pull very tight, it's going to pull in the back button and the top button. And by having that thread looped a couple of times, it's not going to come undone. Now you will be able to put a second knot in and just have that knot slide in underneath that button. And I like to do it a second time. Now to trim the threads, I trim the threads as long as I can without them being seen. So the bigger button I have, the bigger the thread can be. And that's just going to help prevent those threads from pulling in. And that is all it takes. Let me show you how to do this with a button that has the holes that you can see. The setup starts the same. Put the needle in one side and poke it out to the other. Go through the one side, go through the next, and poke it back through. Make sure your button is right side up and it's not twisted. Thread the next button. Come up, go down, pull that button right down. Make sure it's nice and flat so you have both buttons flat. Pull the thread once, twice, 3 times, trim it, and you're done. It's very similar even if you use buttons with the 4 holes. in on one side, through to the second side, leaving a tail. Come up, go down, again right through that center. Make sure the buttons are straight. Do your 3 loops until that button clinches. The next one is going to be stitching through the 2 extra holes because they're really just for decoration. You already have the strength in. So take the needle and put it behind the button and come out to the other side in one of those empty holes. Back into that hole, and this time I'm going to come right through to the front of that button. So now I have both holes in the back done and 3 holes in the front. Lift your button up and put it into the next hole and just have that thread come up to the top so you're not stitching through that pillow. I'm back to my 2 ties and I can just finish tying it off. So it's that good strong thread that makes this quick and easy. Thank you, Jennifer, for asking. And thank you for joining me today on Tuesday's Tips from Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe. And as always, come on back. Let's see what we're sewing next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.